Charles, I like your videos. I've watched for quite a while, and I found something that I know you would be interested in seeing. So I'm going to show this to you so you don't have to look at my puss anymore. This is something I saw last night. Now, disregard this guy. He's great, other than his mouth. This on the wall is in the pyramid, okay? This is in the pyramid of Giza. He was looking, comparing the melting stone video. You know, the guy that melted the stone. I've shown you this link before, where he used acoustic vibration, the sound, and nothing more to drill a hole. And he was comparing the chips that form around the edges to
top of mountains. But I want you to look at some of this evidence. When we talk about like the air shafts that go out
pay
of the
attention to
pyramids,
this.
look at these two. There's the air shaft and there's the granite plug. And see how the ends, the pieces popped off like that? I think they look real similar. You see how it breaks off like that? So, I mean, I think they could have just drilled right through the mountain using something like that, using just sound. But this is what I noticed was really neat. When I looked at this, I saw the sides of it, and I was like, man, that looks really weird. And then I'm like, they're mirrored images, like imprinted on the side of the stone.
Okay.
I mean, that's really what it looked like to me. And I mean...
Well, I thought I was. This is very Mayan. And it also confirms that this is indeed a tomb, because this tells the whole story for how the king died that's in here. I guess this is the king sitting here. This is a portrait. If you stand back, it will show you a whole picture of his face. It also, you can't really see it in some of the pictures, but you can see...
No one's else I know.
God, I didn't mean to do that. You can see where the claws, okay, you can see the death above him. It's very hard to make out. There's an angel of death or lady death or whatever right up here, and the claws are coming around into the king, and it's exactly like if you go to the Super Gods, Maurice Cotterell, and you flip to page 112, you come to these plates. Now if you go to these plates in here, you come to his wonderful work that shows this exact same thing, and I mean exact same thing, depicted on Mayan tombs. And he's laid out in black the actual picture. See the portrait that shows up if you stand back, but yet when you look inside, there is the same kind of inner depictions. And no matter how far you look, each tomb has a different face on it. And when you stand back and look at this one, it looks like a reptile. A very snake-looking god. It's got eyes on the side, for God's sakes. But it's very Mayan. This is so Mayan, it's almost scary when you look at the two. And it's in Egypt. It confirms a Mayan connection to me. And it's on the wall, right there in the Grand Gallery. And it also confirms who this was that was buried in here, because this tells the whole story right there. If someone can interpret that and see all the details so that you can see the god claws coming down. There's one in here that's almost exactly like this. It's so exciting because when you look at it, you can actually see the similarities. Each one has its own little story to it, telling, you know, exactly, I guess, how the king lived, how he was remembered, how he died, and his face. Isn't that wild? every one is so detailed. The more you look, the more you see. And it's exactly like this one that's washed out in Egypt. And it's mirror imaged on the other side, very faint. If we go on here in his video,
what I did was I went and cut them exactly in half, and I took two of the same images, cut them exactly in half, and then I took one side and flipped it 180 degrees, and then it should, if it was a mirror image, it should look exactly like the original does. So that's what we're going to test out right here. So I'm flipping it around. I already made sure it was the same size and everything. Move that over a little bit. Got to make it exactly 180 degrees. But watch this. This is so cool. I mean, I never knew about this. I've never read anything about it or ever seen anything, show on it, nothing on YouTube, nothing. I've never seen anything about it.
boom. Look at that reptile.
Look at that. Now wait till you see the picture. Look at that. I'm telling you, like, it's like a mirrored image. So how did that happen? That's another mystery. I mean, how do you make that? What happened to do that? Something caught.
Okay, this is exactly the same as Across the Ocean. I have no doubt now that they practiced a similar religion in the same place. They probably knew each other, is my guess, because this can't be coincidence. This just can't be a coincidence. You had to see this, and I needed to send it to you to let you get your thoughts.